Did you ever see me re-enter or remain on the property after being asked to leave?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
No.
What authority do you have to take me for a walk in handcuffs to calm me down?
We're not going to talk about that. Like, we're not going to get into legal conclusions. Once
Okay.
again, we're staying on point with relevance and facts.
So that was an objection?
Yes, sir.
And what is the grounds for the objection again?
I don't
Relevance?
have to give that to you.
What was your reason for lying to your sergeant?
Okay, we're not going to do this. We're not going to say lying. We're not going to. This is not a time to argue. You can make those kind of points at trial.
I'm not
right now.
arguing. I'm just asking a simple question, ma'am. I would appreciate if you don't interrupt me.
Well,
And I answered that twice already.
if people have answered them, we move on.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask that you stop interrupting me, please, unless you have an objection. Okay? Please.
We'll see.
It's not a funny matter to me. Wait, where's my body cam at? What are you doing? Taking my property, man.
Policing agents right
Happy
there.
to help.
Okay, I am. Your general orders here of 3814-8 says recording of interviews. You might want to review that because I'm going to start video recording every one of these interviews from now on, Rebecca Cassie. This is their general orders, so
Let's go.
don't rush me. Now I want to point something out. The gentleman kicking me out to the right is Tracy Gutknecht. He is the officer that took my complaint on Officer Chandler, the gentleman that I am interviewing. He has given us conflicting statements on whether or not Chandler has been punished. You can slow these down if you wish. But isn't it funny that the gentleman that I put a complaint in with is kicking me out of my attorney interview?
Here we go.
Welcome back to another video exposing Tucson Police Department and Tucson City Courts. This is an attorney interview with Officer Chandler, badge number 48788. He is the arresting officer in my trespassing and disorderly conduct. This is a pro se interview with Tucson Police Department's legal advisor, Rebecca Casson, present. I feel it is a matter of public interest, so I am sharing with you folks. Enjoy, and let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you. You swear to threats of perjury, your testimony be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
I'm just going to interrupt really quickly.
Sure.
This is not a situation where anybody's under oath. It doesn't matter. I'm sure you can tell the truth anyway, but just...
Do you promise to tell the truth during this interview, sir?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to start. Well, you know what? Let's go over some questioning first. Did you go over your case report today?
No.
Okay. In your previous testimony, you stated that Officer Anaya told you there was a male in blue jeans with a camera. What was your reason for approaching me after that?
Couldn't remember without referring to my case report. And since we went all over that, I think I've answered that.
Is it true that you lied to your sergeant directly after you detained me within the apartment complex?
Again, that's conjecture, man. Like, where do you come up with an accusation like that I lied?
Did you tell Sergeant Dial after I was asked to leave the apartments by you, I said, no, fuck you, during your first 3 seconds of speaking with your sergeant?
Can it give you a time frame?
Are you going to be able to answer any of my questions today, Officer
We're
Chandler?
not going to go there. We're not going to
That
argue.
depends.
Ask a question, wait for an answer. Sometimes the answer's just going to be no.
Did I have a lawful right to be present exactly where I was before you made contact with me, Officer Chandler?
Where did I make contact with you?
Your initial contact with me.
So on the premises of 520 West Prince is what you're referring to?
Yes.
Okay. And initial contact? Yes.
I did have a lawful right to be present. Okay.
Initial contact, yes.
What was your reason for lying to your sergeant?
Okay, we're not going to do this. We're not going to say lying. We're not going to. This is not a time to argue. You can make those kind of points at trial.
I'm not
right now.
arguing. I'm just asking a simple question, ma'am. I would appreciate if you don't interrupt me.
Well,
And I answered that twice already.
What was your answer again?
Yeah, it's conjecture as you assuming that I'm lying.
Okay.
You can't put words in people's mouth.
I think the question you can ask is, why did you tell Sergeant Dial X? Then it doesn't require him to say that he's lying. You may believe it's lying, he may not. Just ask him if he told Sergeant Dial something.
Fair enough. Did you tell Sergeant Dial that after you asked me to leave the apartment complex, I said, no, fuck you?
I don't recall.
If you did say that, would that be an attempt to get probable cause from your sergeant?
I'm not following the question because it doesn't make sense.
If you did say to Sergeant Dial that I said, no, fuck you, when you asked me to leave, would that be you trying to get probable cause for an arrest?
No.
No? Did you have probable cause for an arrest at that point?
What point are you referring to? So we can watch the video.
The point that I was in handcuffs. Did you have probable cause for an arrest the point that I was in handcuffs?
So let's get.
Just a yes or no question, please.
Well, no, you're gonna ask a question. I'm gonna have to clarify because I don't know what you mean by at that point.
At the point I had handcuffs put on me by you, did you have probable cause for an arrest?
Yes.
What was that probable cause?
Trespassing.
Then why did you release me and then give me a reasonable request to leave the property?
You've already answered this question.
We've been over it
You've
a
asked
million
it.
times.
I read it. I listened to it.
Are you objecting to that?
Yes.
Okay, can you just answer then?
No, actually, he can't. We're not, we have covered the fact that we're only going to talk about.
Okay, so then is it true that I was not actually arrested inside the apartment complex? Or charged, I should say. Charged inside of the apartment complex.
Sure, that's fair.
Is that a yes?
Yeah.
After you ripped your badge off in an attempt to incite violence with me,
Asked and answered.
can I finish the question, sir?
Sure.
How long was it before you put your badge back on?
Asked and answered.
Is that your answer?
Yep.
Did anybody else witness you rip your badge off?
Couldn't tell you.
Did Mark Brown not only witness that, but filmed it as well?
It's not about Mark Brown.
It's evidence pertaining to my case, sir.
Okay, let's talk about
Can you answer the question, please?
I refuse to answer that.
Did Mark Brown not only witness it, but film it as well?
I told you I refuse to answer that question.
You're refusing to answer that question.
Yeah, I decline the answer.
If an individual is filming you in the course of your duties, that is not enough to detain or arrest that individual, correct?
Correct.
So if you wanted to arrest an individual that was filming, you would have to find something else to arrest him for, correct?
We wouldn't have to find someone else. That person would produce their own criminal violation itself.
Do you know what question I just asked you?
Yes.
Can you give me a yes or no answer on that?
He doesn't have to give a yes or no. This is an interview. He can give you an explanation. We're not trying to tie anybody in here. We're just going for facts.
So your initial detainment was not driven even part by the fact that I was video recording, correct?
Correct.
And that's what you're going to tell the jury, correct?
I have no idea what I'm going to tell the jury. I'm not there yet. I don't know what I'm going to do in the future.
This is testimony.
It's you asking me questions.
Will I see a different answer out of you on trial than I'm seeing here today, Officer Chandler?
Asked and answered.
I've never asked that, sir.
It's in the future. How am I supposed to tell you what I'm supposed to say?
Are you going to attempt to tell the truth today, Officer Chandler?
Asked and answered when I swore in.
Are you going to tell the truth when it comes trial time, Officer Chandler?
Okay, listen.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing we're not going to get into. This is argument. He'll be under oath. He's an officer. I think you can bring that up at that time. He's told you he's telling the truth now. Let's move on.
Was that an objection, or was that you giving me
That's-
legal advice? Or?
That's an objection. He's not going to answer.
So you object to that?
Sure.
Okay, I'll note your objection.
Thank you.
Do you think if I would have walked up not recording, we would have had the same interaction?
Can you repeat that?
If I would have walked up without a camera recording, would we have had the same interaction?
Don't know. Interaction goes both ways.
Would you have had the same reasonable suspicion of a crime if I did not have that camera?
Don't know. It's all dependent on the person.
Did you ever read me my Miranda rights?
No. Not that I recall.
What are my Miranda rights?
What are yours? Same
Yes.
as everyone else's.
After you released me from handcuffs, did you give me a reasonable request to leave the property?
Couldn't recall.
After leaving the property and going to public sidewalk alongside of Prince, did you ever see me re-enter or remain on the property?
I don't recall.
After you released me from handcuffs, from that point forward, did you ever have probable cause for an arrest for trespassing?
So where did I release you at handcuffs?
In the middle of the complex.
Okay, so what's your question again?
After you released me from handcuffs in the middle of the complex, did you ever have probable cause for trespassing or disorderly conduct after our contact? After you gave me the reasonable request to leave?
Are you asking we as an agency had probable cause?
You
or
personally.
You
specifically,
as
did
a
you,
person?
did you have probable cause to arrest me for trespassing or disorderly conduct after you gave me a reasonable
Yes,
request to
or
leave the
else you would
property?
not have been arrested.
So yes, the answer is yes. Did you ever see me re-enter or remain on the property after being asked to leave?
I don't recall.
You don't recall?
No.
This is interesting. In Sergeant Dial's recent testimony, he says that probable cause was obtained by the actions on the public sidewalk alongside Prince Road. Are you aware of that?
He's not aware of it.
Yeah, you gotta ask Sergeant Dial that question.
Just asking if you're aware of it.
This is a trial question, sir.
I'm going to utilize this for trial. Is that okay, Officer Chandler?
Utilize what for trial?
Is it okay if I utilize this interview for trial, Officer Chandler?
That's up to you.
Should I be asking you the questions?
No.
You seem to be answering a lot for him. Okay, here, first off, your name is what, Rebecca Casson?
Yes, sir.
Before you give me bullshit directives next time, I need you to go over their general orders here on recording interviews, because that is horrible of you to give me directives when it's outside of the scope of their general orders, ma'am. Are you familiar with your general orders, Officer
We're not
Chandler?
going to talk about that.
Are you familiar with your general orders, Officer Chandler?
You want some questions? You want to answer questions about your incident? You want to
About
watch the
the
video?
case.
Here we are.
Well, this has everything to do with my case. I'm looking for due process here, ma'am.
Are you live feeding right now? With your phone camera
No.
sticking out of your pocket?
No, I don't live
Can
feed.
we see?
No, I'm not showing you my stuff.
Okay, sir.
You're not going to violate my Fourth Amendment. So when you personally detained me in handcuffs, was that a cite and release?
When I personally detained you in handcuffs, is that a cite and release? No, it's putting you in handcuffs.
Did you cite me and then release me after putting me in handcuffs initially?
So are you looking for a time frame?
I'm asking you a simple question, a yes or no
It's
question.
not a simple question. That's the one I'm getting at.
When you detained me in handcuffs, was that a cite and release?
No, it's putting you in handcuffs and detaining you.
So it was a detention.
It is detention.
So there was no charges when you put me in handcuffs to the time you gave me a reasonable request to leave.
Nope.
Okay. Thank you for answering that. So was putting me in handcuffs a reasonable request to leave the property? I'm sorry, scratch that. Did I go straight to public property after being released from your handcuffs, Officer Chandler?
Couldn't tell you.
I can't ask number 24, correct? Very bottom. Can I ask him?
Sorry. No, I think, I mean, I don't think.
Can I just
that
ask
makes it? Sure, go ahead.
All right. At what point when I was on the public sidewalk alongside Prince did you obtain probable cause for an arrest for trespassing?
Sergeant Dial approached me.
Was it Sergeant Dial that gave you the probable cause to arrest me?
He gave me direction to arrest you. To cut you a safe.
Does Sergeant Dial have a probable cause statement?
You gotta ask him.
Do you have a probable cause statement?
It's on the citation and case report.
Do you have a
What you have.
probable cause statement, Officer Chandler?
It's in the case report.
Is that a yes, sir?
It's in the case report.
Can you just please answer the question?
I think it's been asked and answered. It's in the case.
Objection noted. Okay. Do you have firsthand knowledge of me trespassing while I was on the public sidewalk alongside Prince Road?
Public sidewalk, if you're on a public sidewalk, that wouldn't be trespassing, now wouldn't it?
Is that answer no, sir?
Repeat the question again?
Do you have firsthand knowledge of me trespassing while I was on the public sidewalk along Prince Road?
No, I don't have first knowledge
Okay.
about you trespassing, because if you're on a public sidewalk, you're not trespassing, so that can't be true.
So while I was on that public sidewalk, at what point that I was on that public sidewalk did you obtain probable cause for the disorderly conduct then?
I told you, ask and answer, you have to ask Sergeant Dial that question.
Are you the arresting officer in my case?
I'm the one that cut the site.
Are you the arresting officer in my case, sir?
I'm the one that wrote the site, and I'm not going to answer the question 5 million times.
I don't understand your answer though.
That's not my problem. It's incumbent upon you. This is your case.
I'm skipping questions for your convenience, so you don't have to object to them. Did you or any other officer have lawful control over the sidewalk at the time that I was on it, on Prince?
I don't know how you could have lawful control over something that's accessible to the public.
Is that a no?
I answered it.
Did you ever hear me making unreasonable noise on the sidewalk?
After watching the video and you cussing and threatening my family.
First-hand knowledge.
Sure. Yeah.
First-hand knowledge.
It is first-hand knowledge. You told me yourself, right to my face, on the sidewalk. So yeah,
Prior to my arrest.
that is prior to your arrest.
So you heard me making unreasonable noise on the sidewalk prior to my arrest?
Sure.
Okay.
You make unreasonable noise. So if I hear you yelling at me above traffic that's on Prince during the day, then yeah, I'm gonna find that unreasonable.
So about 39 minutes and 30 seconds into our previous attorney interview, I asked if you had stole my phone for any period of time. In your testimony, you said no, correct?
If that's what you have documented as previous testimony,
Was that answer truthful?
yeah.
Is it lawful to take somebody else's property without probable cause?
We're not gonna go there. We're not doing that.
So what is the reason for the objection, ma'am?
It doesn't matter. He's not gonna answer. Go to court. Give him motion to compel.
Interesting. I need your card before I leave here.
I don't have one.
I'll look it up.
You have my email address. We've been corresponding by email very politely the last couple of days. Can't imagine why it's different now.
At the time you took my phone, did you charge me with a crime?
Describe take.
Removed from my body.
So took it out of your hand because I had to handcuff you? Sure, I think that's reasonable.
So you did charge me with a crime at that time?
No, that's not what you're asking. asked. You asked if I took your phone.
When you took my phone, did you charge me with a crime at that time?
No, I didn't take your phone. I removed it from your hand so I can detain you. Remember you asked that question? You're not under arrest, you were detained?
When you removed my phone, did you charge me with a crime at that time?
Asked and answered.
What's the answer?
With your previous time,
What is your answer,
I
sir?
didn't take your phone and you were under arrest, you were detained. We just covered that.
It's a very simple question.
He's already given me the answer. Let's move on.
Like
What-
5 times,
I don't know what the
bro.
answer is, though.
I can't explain it easier for you then.
So when you took my phone, you maybe or didn't charge me with a crime at that time? Is that what you're saying?
You questioned whatever the first in the beginning. You stated that, hey, was I detained or under arrest? I said detained, so you can't go back and say you were charged.
So if I took your keys from you right now for any period of time without your consent, would that be considered theft?
You
We're not gonna do
argumentative.
it.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Argumentative.
All right, let's retract that question then.
I'm not a judge, man. You don't gotta talk to it like we're in court.
So what lawful basis did you have to take my property?
Again, asked and answered. And take your property. You
What-
have it, right? So did I take it?
Why don't you stop him? If I took your keys right now and I gave them back 10 minutes later, you would have them as well. Let's just calm down a little bit and not be argumentative, Officer Chandler. Let's be professional here.
Cool.
So, was your seizure on my phone supported by oath or affirmation?
I don't understand that question.
It's a Fourth Amendment question. Was your seizure of my phone supported by oath or affirmation?
Again, asked and answered.
When did you answer these questions?
I don't know. You gotta tell me. It's incumbent upon you to understand that.
It's incumbent upon you to believe in the judicial system, correct?
Sure.
And to be a part of it, correct?
Sure.
So was your seizure of my phone supported by oath or affirmation?
Asked and answered. I'm not gonna answer it.
Was it answered?
I think it's irrelevant at this point.
It is not irrelevant.
It's a misdemeanor.
And just so you know,
Did you particularly describe the place to be searched and the things of mine to be seized to a judge or a magistrate?
We're going to talk about that in court.
I'd like to get these questions answered.
We'll do that in court.
I'm in an attorney interview here, and these questions are...
they're argumentative questions that you present before a judge. I'm not a judge and jury.
I'm not asking you to be, I'm just asking you to answer yes or no questions, sir. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, but now
Is your legal advisor okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My legal advisor.
Let me ask it this way. Was the seizure of my property reasonable?
Again, I didn't seize any of your property, right? We did talk about that.
Did you seize me for a short period of time to get me to calm down?
I did not seize you. You were placed under detainment.
So did you detain me for a short period of time just to get me to calm down?
Yeah.
What was your legal basis for detaining me
You're
to
trespassing.
calm down?
Sometimes we like to give people the benefit of the doubt because we don't want to hem people up unnecessarily. So sometimes we give them the benefit of
What authority do you have to take me for a walk in handcuffs to calm me down?
We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to get into legal conclusions. Once
Okay.
again, we're staying on point with relevance and facts.
So that was an objection?
Yes, sir.
And what is the grounds for the objection again?
I don't
Relevance?
have to give that to you.
Now, you stated in your previous testimony during our first attorney interview that walk was for a punishment like punishing a child. What exactly was my punishment for?
I don't
He didn't
recall
say that.
saying that. I don't recall saying that.
You said, I'll quote you, when a child does something wrong and you
Not to say that
discipline.
you're a child. That was his next word. Not to say that you're a child.
Okay, so you did hear that.
I sure did.
So now you're going backwards. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Come on, dude.
I'm just
Stop being
asking, I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just asking a question. I want to make sure she's all right. So not to refer to me as a child is what you said, right? So what was that form of punishment on me? Was that for filming or was it for being present in the apartment
No
complex?
form of punishment.
In your previous testimony, you stated that you were punishing me like a child. Is that correct?
Negative. If you recall.
Not to refer me as a child, though, as your next words.
If you recall in that statement, in your previous attorney interview, that was an analogy.
Did I hand you my camera?
The one that was on the like little tripod and your phone attached to it, did you hand it to me? No.
Did you pull it out of my hand?
Yes.
I want to just note, it's 3 o'clock, and I'm assuming you want to show on video, and we're going to cut this off at about an hour.
May I continue my questioning?
Sure.
If I can show you video evidence of you ripping the phone out of my hand, would you agree to it then, that you ripped it out of my hand?
That's your interpretation of the video.
Okay. Is to seize to take possession of or confiscate?
I don't know the exact definition. There's lots of different definitions of it, depending on where you look, so I would have to know what your definition and where you're pulling it from.
Are you familiar with the Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution?
We've already been through this.
Okay,
Next time you ask me for the
okay.
rights.
Well, sometimes I have to ask questions in a different manner in order to get the answer that I'm looking for, ma'am.
It's not really how it works, though. You have an opportunity to ask questions, and if people have answered them, we move on.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask that you stop interrupting me, please, unless you have an objection. Okay? Please.
We'll see.
It's not a funny matter to me. Does the Fourth Amendment set requirements for issuing warrants?
Okay, this is, again, we're talking about legal conclusions, and all of this happened post-detainment. What happened with your phone at this moment is not relevant. We're gonna move on to facts and what happened next.
Did we get Sergeant Dial's interview rescheduled?
I don't think he's gonna sit for that.
He's not? So are you refusing him to do an additional interview with me?
Yeah,
You are?
yes.
And what is the reasons for that?
If you want me to put him in writing, I can put it in writing.
Am I now no longer focus here, or?
You are the focus.
Right.
You don't answer anything, though, correct?
Oh, I answer. I just can't help it if you don't like it.
I have dates for Officer Aguilar, that he's available, if you want to schedule that one.
I'm conducting an interview right now. I'll schedule that later on with you.
Didn't
I
you
don't
just
wanna
try to
listen to-
schedule Dial with me?
What's your name and address? Oh, no.
Okay, so what address are you staying at?
I'm not going to give you his address.
1523.
Okay, so you're staying with
Mike
him.
Sagasta. No, Mike Sagasta.
What's your address, sir?
Why did you give me trespass?
What's your name and badge number?
Was I rude?
I will in a second.
Okay, what's your name and badge number?
Okay, cool. We're gonna be that way. The manager said that she doesn't want you on a pro.
Referring to this video here, the audio that you just listened to, did you hear me or witness me refuse to leave that property at that point in time?
What audio is that? 'Cause
It's your body cam, or it's actually,
Negative.
I apologize. That is another individual they're recording that has been submitted as evidence against me.
What evidence? Or
It is
what
called
officer?
cell phone video. It's called cell phone video. It's Aguilar Chandler.
So it's not an officer's body worn camera.
Can you answer my question, please?
No,
Did you hear
no.
me? Did you hear me refuse to leave the property at any point just now during that audio of yourself?
So I'm gonna clarify something. So that's not an officer's body worn camera. So that's your video footage.
I'm not going to be answering your questions today, Officer Chandler. You're going to
Cool.
be
Then
answering
I'm
my
not gonna
questions.
answer yours on that because that could be edited video.
No, this is evidence directly. This is Exhibit B. So this is evidence from.
Well, I
the
don't
courts,
know that
from
yet
directly
because
from
you
the
won't
prosecutor.
tell me the source of it.
So are you not going to answer any of my questions pertaining to any of these videos?
Nope, because it's not my body worn camera now, is it?
So you are refusing to answer questions now.
refusing to answer questions and based upon this video, that is not my body worn camera. And the court order states that you want me to review my body worn camera and ask questions about my body worn camera, not yours.
Does the court order say that, Chandler?
I would have to look again, but I'm pretty sure that's what it summed up.
Or does the court
Listen,
order?
this is the time to ask questions about your case. We have another half an hour. Ask questions about your case. When he remembers, have him watch his own video.
You're interrupting me again. This is evidence used against me in this case, and I will play it for you.
Okay, what's your name again, gentlemen? Okay.
So that's Mark Brown's video, right?
That is, yes, that is used against me. Excuse me.
I would like to. Whoa, what's going on? Are you supposed to leave? You're trespassing.
You stated in your case report that this is a live feed. Is that true?
He didn't say
Phone
that.
call.
He said he didn't
I don't
know.
know.
Do you have the case report handy?
No.
Because I went 2 hours with you over my case report. This is supposed to be my body worn camera. This is not my
Did,
body worn camera.
any point in time during the audio I just played, did you hear me refuse to leave the property?
Again, that's your or whoever's.
Did you hear me or not?
camera. Play it again.
You understand you can trespass with conduct as well, right?
I won't be answering your questions today, ma'am. Are you writing things down? Are we having a conversation at this point, Officer Chandler?
It looks like I have a pen in my hand and a notepad.
Is that a yes?
It doesn't look like any video. I don't see my hand moving at that, whatever that is.
Were we
Then again-
conversating?
But then again, this is, I don't know if this is unedited video or edited video, so I can't answer that question exactly for sure.
Did you hear in this video us conversating, Officer
Again,
Chandler?
I'm going to answer it. It's not officer video. I don't know if this has been edited or not.
This is directly from the courts, directly from live.
It's actually not from the court, it's from Mark Brown. It has been recorded.
No, this is from the courts. They put it in as evidence against me.
Fair enough.
Okay, so can you hear what's going on here? Did you hear us conversating?
Play
Yes
from
or
the
no?
beginning.
Yes or
Play
no
from
question.
When I first made contact with you.
Did you hear us conversating right here?
I'm not gonna give you his address. Okay, so you're saying. Mike Sagasta, no, Mike Sagasta.
What's your address, sir?
Why did you give me trespass for? What's your name and address? Was I rude?
I will in a second.
Okay, what's your name and address? Okay, cool. Here we go.
Are you watching it all? Your
No,
demeanor?
you asked me to listen.
Did I refuse to trespass at all?
Not what I could hardly hear on that video, but your conduct, yeah, sure. Because a reasonable person would follow lawful commands of a police officer.
Were we speaking at this point in time right here? Were you?
I would call it speaking.
The manager
I would call
said
you
that
being
she was watching our
argumentative or
property, so
refusing to
you
leave.
I would like to. Whoa, what's going on? Are you supposed to leave? You're trespassing. You didn't watch our property.
Why were you pulling up on my arms right there? Why were you pulling up on my arms after you put handcuffs on
What do
me?
you mean pull up on your arms?
Why were you pulling up on my arms in the back after you put handcuffs on me?
Was I pulling up on your arms?
I'm asking you a question. Why
The
were you?
question is,
doesn't look
you
like
can
it's a
ask him,
video.
were you pulling up on my
Were you
arms?
pulling up on my arms?
No? How tall are you? Clearly you outweigh me probably by 200 pounds and probably by 1.5 feet.
Excuse me, you're interrupting the
So if
video.
your arms if you're longer than me, I wouldn't have to pull up on your arms.
Excuse me, Officer Chandler, you're interrupting the
Hey, we're
video.
not doing this. We're not doing this.
Exactly. Thank you. Excuse me, Officer Chandler, you are interrupting the video. I am going to be asking you questions. I am not answering your
Understand
questions.
This goes both ways, though. We are
Yeah.
professionals as well. We're
Yes.
giving you courtesy. Give us the same.
You're not giving me any courtesy, Rebecca. We could be doing this over the phone. Now, can I get back to my line of questioning, please, Rebecca?
You got 16 minutes.
Can I please get back? I have as much time as I need for due process.
It's not.
16
Stop
minutes.
being violent with me, you fucking piece of shit. Stop. Oh, sir. Good. Get it right now. You're trying to put me in tape here. Motherfucker, I'm walking just fine.
Why are you pulling up on me right there? What is your reason for pulling up on the handcuffs?
I don't see me pulling up on you
Can you hear my voice?
Again, based upon your size, that you're taller than me, I would not have to pull up on you. I would have to pull down so I could get access to your cuffs.
I was already cuffed here, and you're pulling up on my cuffs, correct?
No?
Were you pulling down on my cuffs?
Oh, it looks like my hand is not on your handcuffs, are they? Looks like you're around your forearm or your elbow. And you're asking a guy that weighs 150 pounds, you probably outweigh me by 100 pounds that I could lift up on you.
This arm, your left arm.
Okay, this isn't a time to argue. You
Okay.
can ask him again. Were you pulling
Stop,
out?
stop,
And
fucking pulling up on me.
your evidence doesn't want to-
You can never do this without that little pussy. Take these off too then.
Were you inciting violence there?
Asked and answered in the first
Okay.
interview.
These off too then when you want to beat me up with. You're getting off on this, not me.
You're asking me if you're.
Talk, get this shit on film right here. They're live streaming. Good. Check this out, everybody. This motherfucker just stole my fucking phone. He tried to solicit a trespass. Look at these handcuffs. They're terrible, man.
So at this point, why did you stop me from leaving the property?
What do you mean when I stopped you?
Why did you just stop me from leaving the
It looks
property?
like you turned around. Again, you're asking a guy that's 150 pounds, control guy that's over 100 pounds than me.
Was I
You think that's
resisting in any way, Officer Chandler?
Did you think that's physically possible?
Was I resisting in any way, Officer Chandler?
It doesn't look like you're resisting.
Why would you stop me in the middle of the complex?
I just told you, I didn't stop you, you turned around.
Did you instruct me to turn around and sit on the curb, Officer Chandler?
I don't recall that.
Is it safe to say that you instructed me to turn around and sit on the curb at that point in time right here?
Haven't got that point in the video.
Right here. Is it safe to say that?
Continue play to see if I can hear it.
Do you recall me stating to you that my knees are bad, that I can't sit on a curb? I got shot in both my kneecaps. Do you recall that statement from me?
I think I do, yeah. I think you said something along those lines.
So the answer to my question would be then, yes, you did tell me to sit on the curb, and I answered.
That's not what he said, and you know it. He said he recalls you saying something about his knees, and about your knees. That's what he answered.
Your eyes are awfully red, ma'am. Can you hear me over there sounding like I'm getting tortured? Did you hear me saying stop, stop, I'm not going anywhere?
There's a lot of traffic noise that I hear.
Is that traffic noise unreasonable?
It's part of the vehicle, so I guess traffic.
Did you hear me just say stop, stop, I'm not going anywhere?
Can you play it again?
There. Did you hear me say stop, stop, I'm not going anywhere?
I do not hear anything of that nature.
Of course, your body cam was muted. Why was your body cam muted during my arrest?
Can I tell you?
Is that against your policy to mute your body cam during an arrest?
Asked and answered in the first interview.
Do you recall what the answer was in the first interview about your body cam being muted?
Could not tell you.
In the first interview, did you even have access to your body cam?
No.
How would you have answered that question if you didn't have access to your body cam?
I want to tell you right now, this has nothing to do with your case.
It does.
It's time to move on. It doesn't. It's
His body cam footage has everything to do with my case. It's evidence.
Well, then you're
I'd
not
appreciate it
showing
if you'd
my
stop
body
interrupting.
work on camera. If it has everything to do with
You
your
were
case,
supposed
then
to
show me my
review.
body work
You were
camera,
supposed to
not
review your own
yours.
body cam footage.
I did, and we're not talking about it. We're talking about your footage.
We need to talk about the totality of the circumstances of my arrest.
Okay.
I'm
so
using all
this
the
is-
evidence that's against me that you're using against me. Correct? Is that
doesn't
correct?
make sense. How
Is
am I
this
supposed
evidence?
to use evidence against you, against me, against you?
You should probably move on to the next question. We got about 10 minutes left.
If you guys are going to conclude the interview, you might as well conclude it now because I'm not going to be done in 10 minutes.
Cool. All right. I'm done.
Really?
I challenge badge numbers 4, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Rebecca Casson, and that is Chandler. And I will publish you guys for not doing this, and I'm actually going to put in a complaint with the judge. We'll file a motion. He likes to run women off in different areas when he thinks they feel threatened in some way.
Can you please walk Mr. Triple out?
Pig's under pressure, guys. Zoom out.
Okay, let me just grab my items.
Go ahead.
What is your reason for asking me to leave? It's not live feeding. There's no live feeding going on here. And there's no court order either. Actually, I would like to read you your,
It's time for you to go, sir.
General, wait, where's my body cam at? What are you doing? Taking my property, man.
Leasing agents right
It's time for you
there.
to go.
Okay, I am. Your general orders here of 3814-8 says recording of interviews. You might want to review that because I'm going to start video recording every one of these interviews from now on with Rebecca Casson. This is their general orders, so
Let's go.
don't rush me. I'm going to set this up, record you guys while I'm doing this.
Close to.
It's an awful lot of people. What are you guys doing? It's an attorney interview. Is everybody here going to interrupt? So now that the interview's concluded, Rebecca, when is Aguilar ready for his interview?
Between June 5th and 9th.
June 5th and 9th, huh? You do understand that I need to have these turned in 21 days prior to trial, and the trial date is on the 26th, correct?
Email, so let's keep it moving.
What's your name, sir?
Trey Gutknecht.
Trey Gutknecht. And what's your position here at TPD?
Roy, can we just?
What is your position here, sir? If you're going to give me directives.
PR number and that's it.
10062.
And what is your position here?
We already said that.
Roy,
Easy.
can we please keep on moving?
Yeah, it's awfully intimidating here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 officers here for some reason. I'm not going to stop recording, by the way.
That's fine.
I'm scared for my safety. You guys are psychopaths.
We have an opportunity to leave, so let's take
And
it.
I'm doing that. Rebecca Casson will be getting a bar complaint, I guess, now, huh? Should have been the time that you attacked me, but. So, any of the other officers going to be available before that time, Rebecca? What's that? Did you say asked and answered? I will never stop recording you guys until you start acting right. You're right, it is. These guys over here were much nicer the other day.
Sweet. Have a nice day.
What was your name and badge number, ma'am, just before I leave?
Page Trevor, 53665.
And your name and badge number before I leave?
Chan 52931.
Chan 52539?
52931.
Okay, and your name and badge number?
Bargoot 53649.
Okay, and your name and badge number before I leave?
Cornea 51571.
Thank you guys very much. You guys do the same.
Have a nice day.
Hey, you do the same, man. See you in about a week.